This is what drew my attention to Ripple's recent X advertisement. The fact that regulated stablecoins, safe asset custody, institutional payments, and everything else on the chain are currently taking place has been confirmed. Yes, we have. It's taking place. The Internet of Value is being accelerated by the convergence of traditional finance and cryptocurrency. That concludes the 2025 Ripple Swell. See you in New York City next year. This was just released by Ripple, and I must say that the message is unique. For a moment, step back with me. The goal that Ripple and others utility-focused businesses have been pursuing is finally becoming apparent. For this industry, 2025 has completely changed the rules of the game. Any year before to this one, such as 2024, 2023, or 2022, seems like the past now. What distinguishes 2025 from all previous years, since we are no longer discussing possibility? In reality, traditional finance and cryptocurrency are collaborating and doing business together. Real money is being moved by operational institutional payment rails. From being experimental to becoming indispensable, stablecoins are now occupying a valid place in the global money supply. And the titans of finance? They are now officially stating that all of the main asset classes will be hosted on the blockchain. That kind of institutional dedication verifies that we have been assembling the correct elements from the beginning. We're focused on what really counts. There is no question as to where this is headed in the long run for cryptocurrency. Yes, there will be wildly fluctuating prices. There is no end in sight to volatility. There will be collisions. It's only a portion of the journey. However, none of that alters the final destination. The widespread deployment of crypto technology is rapidly approaching. The largest organizations in the world are already connecting to this infrastructure. All assets are moving along the chain. This is no longer a pipe fantasy. It's taking place directly in front of us. Already the wheels are turning. Over the past few days, I've become aware of another development. On sites like Mexi, more people are having their money locked away. This is a genuine issue that continues to plague the cryptocurrency community. These transactions take place in areas that are not fully regulated. That's risky. That's precisely why I keep making the same point. Take charge of your cryptocurrency if you plan to hold it. Use hardware wallets or cold storage, whichever suits you best. Don't leave your money on these websites. Okay, let's go into the details, especially with regard to payments and the transfer of institutional funds. The action is on regulated stablecoins. RUSD's total supply recently surpassed $1 billion. That is a significant threshold. The XRP ledger is then taking significant action. It currently has real estate holdings of about $400 million. It is linked to 47 distinct RWAs. The market capitalization of stablecoins on that ledger alone has surpassed 400 million, up more than 44% in the past month alone. Record amounts of capital are pouring into these networks. The entire story is depicted in the charts. Additionally, since early November, the growth trajectory has been aggressive if you explicitly watch ARA-USD. Its market value skyrocketed to $200 million. This is what I have been predicting will occur. The things we have been discussing for years are now being rewarded by the market. Do you recall the days when utility-based projects were thought to be dull? They were not to be touched. Because everything was driven by hype and conjecture, everyone disregarded actual use cases. The script has now been totally reversed. The most important indicators are actual utility, real-world application, and regulatory compliance. The gold standard now is what people used to make fun of. We are witnessing a complete revolution in the market. These utility-focused networks and projects have evolved into the models that everyone aspires to emulate. When all of this is connected, correct? Recently, stablecoins have been my main emphasis. Here's why. In the whole market, they are the clearest indicator we have. Do you want to see just how revolutionary this technology is? Track the steady coin trail. These tokens aren't speculative. They are actual monies for real people with real needs, moving on blockchain rails. So, who is responsible for this growth? Money is sent home by cross-border workers. Imagine someone working hard in the United States to provide for their family back home. Large portions of costs are taken off by traditional remittance services. They can entirely avoid that with stablecoins. These are significant advancements. These financial shortcuts can change your life. And not just people are gaining from this. Because stablecoin infrastructure operates better than anything they've used in the past. Businesses, huge organizations, and institutional operations are connecting to it. For precisely this reason, well-known companies are increasingly creating their own stablecoin solutions. Consider Visa as an example. This is based on personal opinions. We have recently, businesses can now send payments in USD-backed stablecoins like USDC straight to recipients' digital wallets thanks to a test program that Visa has launched. Gig workers, freelancers, and creators can now receive payments almost instantly thanks to this program. Early in 2026, the initiative will start to roll out. Visa is testing immediate stablecoin payouts for gig workers, freelancers, and the creator economy. Window of launch, early 2026. Listen to it. We may now transmit stablecoins to wallets all across the world because we have announced stablecoin payouts. For marketplace rewards, payroll use cases, and creative economies, this is quite interesting. And we can't wait to debut and observe how it grows. We thus introduced stablecoin pre-funding in September, allowing our clients to pay us in stablecoins for funding and settlement alternatives that are available around the clock. The other part of the payment is the steady coin distributions that we are now providing. Funds can now be received faster. We can also mail them out right away. The whole cycle of stables in, stables out is what it is. In areas where the value of the national currency fluctuates, steady coin rewards are becoming increasingly popular where USD accounts were previously prohibited. They can now possess a stablecoin that is pegged to the USD. Because anyone with an internet connection can open a wallet and receive money, we're also witnessing an expansion of financial inclusion. Look, we know it's time to zoom out when Visa begins embracing stablecoins and publicly lauding their effectiveness and transformational potential. We must determine our precise position in this larger scheme of things. I'm not referring to whether the market is now experiencing a bull run or a bear market. That's noise, the 4-year cycle nonsense. The adoption wave is what I'm tracking. The best point of reference is to consider the evolution of the internet. It took some time for the internet to become indispensable. For years, it was present in tech circles and labs. However, what turned the switch? Social media. At that point, the internet evolved from a tool for early adopters to one that grandparents used on a regular basis. Almost overnight, social media platforms transformed millions of users into billions. Stablecoins are that breakthrough layer in the cryptocurrency space, which is on a similar trajectory. They serve as the key to gaining widespread acceptance. How can I tell? Look over the guest list. PayPal constructed their own. Visa is experimenting with payment methods. MasterCard is involved. They are being incorporated into the operations of traditional banks. In order to enable dollar-backed stablecoins, U.S. regulators are also developing frameworks. This is no longer a fringe experiment. This reminds me of the internet's social media boom, which occurred when adoption shifted from linear to exponential. Is my reading completely incorrect? Yes, that is feasible. However, something significant is happening when an organization of this caliber invests resources. Since we're already discussing Visa and MasterCard, allow me to quickly transport you back to November 5th. At Ripple Swell, Ripple made a statement that attracted attention. Starting with the Gemini XRP credit card, we were working with MasterCard, WebBank, and Gemini to implement RLUSD settlement on the XRP ledger for fiat credit card payments. It was more than simply noise. In a live use case, you are seeing the integration of RLUSD with XRP ledger infrastructure. I appreciate you staying. I'll see you at the following one.